The Historian of Shadows. In a vast library filled with the stories of nations, there lived a man who called himself the Historian of Truth. This man did not seek knowledge to illuminate the present or guide the future. Instead, he wandered the dusty aisles, searching for torn pages, forgotten scribbles, and the shadows cast by the great leaders of old. With each fragment he uncovered, he spun tales for the people outside the library. He spoke of heroes who were secretly villains, of decisions made in darkness, and of conspiracies that linked the failures of today to the leaders of yesterday. The people, eager for answers to their struggles, began to gather around him, entranced by his words. But there was a twist in his story. The historian didn't read the whole book. He carefully selected only the pages that fit his narrative, ignoring the rest. Where a chapter spoke of progress, he pointed to a mistake in the margin. Where a passage celebrated unity, he highlighted a conflict. He wielded history not as a lesson, but as a weapon. The great leaders of the past, some flawed, some noble, became puppets in his tales. "See this one," he'd say, holding up a tarnished name. "They are the reason for your suffering." He painted the present as a battlefield where he alone stood as the victor of truth, casting doubt on all who came before him. But among the crowd there were quiet voices, the keepers of the library. They whispered to each other, "The stories he tells are not the whole truth. He digs only where the shadows fall, ignoring the light that shines on the rest." Together they opened the forgotten books, revealing chapters that the historian had hidden. These books told of leaders who made mistakes but also brought change. They spoke of unity forged in adversity and lessons learned from failure. They reminded the people that history is neither all shadow nor all light, but a mix of both. A guide, not a chain. The people began to see the historian's tales for what they were. Fragments woven into a web of manipulation, designed not to inspire, but to control. They returned to the library, seeking the truth for themselves, and began writing their own story, a story rooted in clarity, balance, and hope. And the historian, once the loudest voice in the crowd, found his shadows shrinking in the light of understanding.